Oh look, we look at last game and it was a really good batting performance from all of us down the order, and it was sensational what James Faulkner did at the end. Speechless on how he performed there. But Ishant, he's been a quality bowler around the world for a number of years, and gaming, we always respect that. But we just come off Trump's last game.
Phil, talk about your own batting over the last few years, and also how has the bat improved over the last few years in your experience? Because it means that now you're doing touching, or the batsman simply touching perhaps the ball, going for the ropes. Has it been really great, the change in your batting quality of bats?
Oh look, the bats are very good. I know all the boys are really happy with him, but I think it's the game's really evolving. Come with 2020, the last few years, you see guys hit him over the ropes consistently now, and we've seen that in this series so far. The first 3 games, I know we've scored over 300 3 times, so we've been quite consistent in the way we've been batting. But in saying that, it's a 7 one-day series, and we don't want to look too far ahead and look to keep performing game in, game out.
After the bowlers are bowling, the opposite bowlers are bowling really well, and you guys are using a short ball to your advantage. So you think that the point of players are having with the 2 new ball rule, you guys are to go hard and once again, I think this pitch is also going to help you that.
Yeah, look through the last couple of wickets. We've really used that. I think Mitchell Johnson for us has been a star, and using his short ball, he's been very consistent last 3 games, and he's bowled with some really fierce pace, which is great to see. But in saying that, our bowling unit's doing a good job. It can be tough on these wickets to perform as a bowler when the wickets are so flat.
Your thoughts on George Bailey as a batsman and leader of the side? Yesterday, Glenn Maxwell said that he's brought a lot to the side, and even though you can't wait for a pop back, he's learning the side of the Bailey.
Yeah, look, he's been outstanding. He's really leading from the front. He's a really good character, and I really love playing under George. He's really led from the front with the bat. He's been very consistent, and he's been very consistent in the one-day format for the last 12 months now, and probably one of our most consistent players. And again in this series, the first 3 games he's batted beautifully. So it's great to see, and great to see the leader leading from the front.
Phil, can you talk a little bit about your combination up at the top of the Aaron Finch? He tells the media that you're quite close to having room a few years ago. Can you talk a little bit about how you got performing on the field as well? Consecutive scores of over 50 as a partnership between the 2 of you.
Yeah, look, Aaron's very good to bat with. He's, I think batting at the other end, sometimes I've got the best seat in the house when he goes off. But he's someone that we've had a really good relationship over the last 5 to 10 years. Really, we've roomed at the academy together years back now, and we've always kept in touch. And Aaron's just a fantastic guy and a fantastic cricketer, and I love going out there and open the batting with him. And we talk about the partnerships that we've been getting. I think the one probably little disappointing thing is we'd like to make the partnership even bigger and try and take the game on even more. But we've been quite consistent in the first 3 games, and we've spoke about it, not looking too far ahead and just worrying about each game as it comes, and hopefully we can keep posting totals on the board and setting, I suppose, the guys that come in through the middle order, set them up with a bit of a total on the board.
Just one more. This morning or today, Cricket.com.au Australia gave you fairly high praise yourself and Dave Warner, saying Australia should pick and stick with yourself and Dave for the Ashes. Without looking too far at the Ashes, but how nice and appreciative are you of doing that sort of stuff?
Yeah, right. That's actually first I've heard of it. I suppose it's great when a great player like Ricky's calibre comes out and says that and supports you. It's a fantastic thing. But I know, like, for me personally, it's just about being as consistent as possible and continuing to keep performing. I'm just grateful to be in this one-day side at the moment, and I want to look to keep putting consistent scores on the board and hopefully set up wins for Australia.
At the back.
Phil, earlier this year when you toured India, you personally did not have much success. but in the ODI series you've done really well. Is it because of a change of format, or have you adjusted your technique around the way? How have you approached your batting for this series?
Yeah, look, the Test series, a few months back now wasn't a successful one for us. To lose that series 4-0 was extremely disappointing. But we've moved on from that. This is a different format, and I suppose the wickets are different, and it's a white ball, so it's a different format. But there was a couple of things that I actually picked out of that Test series that I took home and worked on. That was the first time I toured India on the international scene in that Test series. So there was a couple of things I've definitely worked on over the last couple of months, knowing that if I had the chance of coming back here. It's a nice thing to have toured and come back and to score a few runs on the board.
Yeah, and then over there.
Philip, we've heard a lot of the Indian team talking about the rule changes in the ODIs, the 2 new balls and the fielders inside the circle. From a batsman's point of view, how do you like the new rule changes? Obviously, they're changing cricket and the way chases are perceived.
Yeah, look, I think it's good. What's going ahead has been fantastic. I think if you look around the different countries, it works in different ways, really. You come here and the wickets are quite good for batting. And then if you go to England and Australia, you could have wickets that, do a bit and 2 new balls. You see a lot of games that are 3 for 30 up front. So it's different conditions. So I think that's the great thing of touring around the world is you see, different scores. There's been a lot of big scores in this series to date. It's just I suppose that's what really India brings with the wickets that we play on here.
Over here.
This Australia looks a very happy team, which was not the case when it rode India earlier this year. How do you explain the change?
Yeah, look, it's going well nicely at the moment. I know all the boys were all really gelling together, as well as the coaching staff as well. There's obviously been a bit of a change in the staff over the last few months. But, when we lost the series 4-0 in the Test series, that was obviously very disappointing, and we sat down and spoke about things where we could improve. And I think to be 2-1 up in this series is a real pleasing thing, and all the boys' confidence are real high. So hopefully we can continue our real good form through this series.
Last two, yeah, and here.
Last match, the way Dhoni exploded towards the finishing stages, there's a lot of unorthodox batsmanship that one got to see, which is very typical of Dhoni. So how big a challenge is it to sort of kind of set fields and bowl to Dhoni, especially towards the closing stages of the game?
Yeah, it can be very challenging when you've got a world-class player like Dhoni. He's been exceptional for a number of years, and he's very good batting at the death there and hitting the ball over the park. But the bowlers are still staying very positive. You don't want to dwell too much on that game. I think the bowlers have still done a fantastic job through this series. We've seen it. There's been a number of runs on these wickets, so it's about staying tight as a unit and looking to improve day in, day out. And the bowlers are still holding their heads up high, and I'm sure we'll see a good performance this game from them.
Last one.
The lead Indian spinner Ashwin, you guys have played in well, attacked in well. So is there a plan? And also, are you surprised at the lack of talent for Indian spinners?
So with Ashwin, sorry?
You guys have played him well. You guys have attacked him. Is there a special plan to attack him? And also, are you surprised at the lack of talent Indian spinners against?
No, look, we respect all their bowlers. There's no certain plan. We respect. Ashwin's been a very good performer for a number of years, and we respect definitely his batsmen. And we talk about respecting all bowlers. I know it's when a bowler's got a ball in the hand, they're always a chance of bowling a dot or getting a wicket. So it's about respecting the opponent, definitely.